And we are live, folks. Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my first official video. I didn't really have any plans for this one, and I wasn't even planning on doing a video today, but the stars aligned, so to speak, and here we are. So let me just start off introducing myself. My name is Caelan, and it is a absolutely beautiful day in sunny Southern California. People are out going on their runs. I'm personally on my skateboard here, my Land Yacht skateboard. Thank you to Land Yachts for being my phone stand and enabling me to travel. And I guess what I want to talk about today for my first video, I think something that is really important is gratitude and love as well as service. Now, I'm not necessarily going to go deep into my life and how I've come to these conclusions yet. That will come in time. But I want to start off by talking about gratitude. What is the importance of being grateful, even in our hardest times? And for some of us, it is a very hard time. As you can see, I'm at my local park here, and I don't know if you guys can see in the background there, our little playground right there. Has a yellow caution tape around it because of the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic that is going on right now. But luckily we're still able to, get out of the house, be in the sun that feels so amazing right now, and breathe in the absolutely beautiful air. It's amazing. Now, gratitude. I just expressed some right now by being grateful for the sun, being grateful for the air that I breathe. Now, I'm not always grateful. In fact, the majority of the time, I'm probably the opposite. But what I've come to realize is the ability of us as human beings to be grateful for whatever situation we're in, to find a positive out of a negative. That capability is absolutely amazing. And I was skating here to the park. I'm flowing on my skateboard, listening to my music, something I love. I love cruising. And I was feeling so grateful and just filled with absolute joy. Absolute joy. And with that, gratitude allows you to become present, which is also something important that I would like to share to anybody that is listening. The power of presence. Being here now and accepting whatever situation it is that you're going through. Being grateful for the opportunity to provide love and positivity to yourself, and secondarily, but just as important, to the world as well. And I also want to express my deep gratitude for YouTube for allowing me, and I mean, whoever invented cameras and phones, I mean, it's amazing. It's a crazy world we live in. But I want to express my gratitude to YouTube for allowing me the ability and giving me the platform to make this video and to share my experiences and the concepts that I believe will change my life for the better and change everybody else's lives for the better as well. So thank you, YouTube, for providing me this platform to do this. So gratitude. I can go on and on about gratitude, but I think we get the gist of it. Being grateful for what we have, for what we are able to achieve. It's very important. And being present, not worrying about the future or the past. And if I can also share something that was very fascinating to me that was shared to me by a man by the name of Sadhguru. Excuse me if I'm culturally appropriating by saying that name like that, but I like to sound, I like to mold into whatever I'm speaking about. Sadhguruji, as some people might call him, but he's a yogi, Indian yogi, mystic, as are his labels. But to me, I view him as a man who is spreading his experiences and the conclusions about life that he came to with the world, and I appreciate him for that. But one thing that was very fascinating to me that he says is, and I'm not directly quoting this, but as human beings, we suffer from the two greatest and unique capacities that we have as human beings. One of which is a vivid sense of memory, and the other is a vivid sense of imagination. Now, why are we suffering those? What does that mean? Let's address a vivid sense of memory. That's where I believe depression and sadness comes from in our lives. We have the amazing capability to remember so vividly the things that we've went through in our past, and the things that humans are biologically wired to remember more are the bad parts, the negatives, the danger, because it is a fear and the capability of memorizing negativity in our past provides us with a map of what to avoid later on in our lives. And it doesn't necessarily mean that we avoid that type of stuff, and often that negativity rubs off on us and we perpetuate it. And I wouldn't say there's something wrong with that, but I will say that that is not the right way to go. When we are served negativity in the world, it is our duty as human beings to internalize that negativity and externalize, transform it into positivity and ultimately love for our fellow man, our fellow woman. And that is a very hard thing to do as a human being. I'm not great at it. I'm really just starting. And thank you for joining me on this journey. So, we talked about gratitude, presence, being here, breathing in the air, feeling the sun, looking at the trees, enjoying the presence of other people in our lives. And like I said, and I will always stress, I'm not perfect at this. It is one of the hardest things for me to do. I'm a inherently negative, angry person. And it doesn't take a lot to get me out of that, but it does at the same time. And I'm sure one of these days I'll be able to explain that in a more concise fashion. But gratitude, presence, service. Oops, I already got off on a tangent. Before service. So we got vivid sense of memory, where I believe that depression comes from, things like that. We suffer from that. But it is one of our most amazing capacities as human beings. And number 2, vivid sense of imagination, which has possibly enabled me to have this phone and do this video, to hold my water in this cup, brought to you by Dickie's Barbecue Pit. Let me take a sip of this. Nothing better than some water. I mean, maybe a brew, but nah, I'm just playing. Brews taste good too. But vivid sense of imagination, which has enabled me, I believe, to do what I'm doing right now. And we suffer that in the form of anxiety, the what ifs of our lives. What if this situation happens? What if I don't achieve this? What if? Well, I'd like to ask a question to you. What if? Do we really know? I don't think we do. Maybe there is an inherent guidance within us that does know. But I think on an overlaid level, we don't know. And that anxiety we suffer from because life is difficult. Definitely, 100%. And that is also something we should be grateful for, because the best things in life are the hardest to achieve. And that's why a lot of people don't achieve them, because they're hard. They're meant to be. There is a reason for it. Because if you are given something in life without putting in any work for it, you don't value that as much. And that is why I value gratitude, presence, love, service so much now. Because I've worked so hard to live a life of just the opposite of all that. And it has brought me to very dark places that I will soon share. But today, that's not the point. The point is to share the lessons that I've learned to people who may be going through the same thing that I was going through a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, a couple years ago. If you are in it right now, just realize if you are at the bottom, if you think you are at the bottom, be grateful that It's only upwards to go. But I will share with you, if you do believe you are at the bottom, be careful. Because the bottom can always get more bottomless. I don't think that makes sense. But the bottom can always go further. And be careful of regressing in that fashion. I'm guilty of it. It's hard not to. But we must, in order to live a fulfilled life. We must be grateful that we are in the situation that we are in, and be grateful of the opportunity that we have to make it better. So, that brings me to service. People ask, what is the purpose of life? What is my purpose? I can tell you. And not because I'm some sort of intuitive intellectual that can see the purpose of life in such a different way. No. I'm just like you. I'm an individual, but I'm just like you. I believe that our purpose on this world is service. To provide love through some form of service. And I want to express my deep gratitude as well to a man named Ed Milet, fellow YouTuber as well. I say fellow like I'm already indoctrinated into the YouTube fam. Wonderful man. Absolute blessing in my life. Absolute blessing. Love him to the deepest core of my being because of the amazing messages that he has spread to not only me but to the rest of the people that have listened to him and have watched his videos, listened to his podcasts and such. One thing that he says that really struck me as just such an amazing concept is figure out what your strengths are in this world. What are you as an individual naturally inclined to be good at? Figure out what those things are. A couple things, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. What are those things that you're good at? And figure out those strengths and how, most importantly, figure out how you can use those strengths to serve others. That is every single human being's purpose on this earth. To serve. To give ourselves to the world. Now, I will always reiterate, I am not the best at this. Nor am I even 25% good at it. But I'm here today. I'm here now. I have the capability to serve. It is my duty. And that is what I will do. And now, I'm still in the process of figuring out what are my strengths. I've kind of maneuvered into different avenues in my life and explored different ways of living, different thoughts. I've entertained all these things. And I'm still in the process of figuring out what I'm good at, but I think what I'm good at is being able to reflect and communicate the the good and the bad of this life that we all are partaking in. And with that recognition of that possible strength of mine, it is my duty to serve that to you. And service is so important. How do you feel when you do something for somebody else compared to, excuse me, my battery's at 20% here, but we're gonna keep going. How do you feel when you serve somebody else compared to when you serve yourself? Does serving yourself provide you with that sense of fulfillment and that sense of purpose in your life? Does it? Or does serving somebody else, being selfless, does that make you feel fulfilled? And make you feel that you are fulfilling your inherent duty as a human being on this earth, this beautiful earth, and ugly earth. It can get ugly. I know. You know. But we always got to realize that we're in it together. And more now than ever with the technological innovation, the viruses that are going around, the evils in the world, the population boom of human beings as a species, more now than ever before, we need leaders. We need people to step up to the plate and lead through service to others. And don't worry. If you want the riches, you want the Lamborghini, you want the Rolex, you want the nice chain, you want the beautiful girl, the beautiful man, the nice house, the nice marriage, the kids, the good life. That stuff, I truly believe, will land at your doorstep or at your feet by virtue of that not being the main goal and service being the main goal. And now, if by whatever reason that stuff does not come to you, by not making it the main purpose, that doesn't affect you. See, when I get laid in that ground, in that dirt, I want people to know me as a servant, someone who brought positivity in this world. Someone that was a leader. I want to be known as a loving individual. Not the angry, negative, hurtful, evil part of me that I inherently gravitate towards. Which is why the importance of gratitude, presence, leadership, love, service, all of these things are so important to me, because they help me maneuver back into that lane that I should be in. So those are just a couple things I wanted to share you share with you on this wonderful day. So I hope everybody is staying healthy. I hope everybody can have a wonderful, productive day. And I hope and I'm confident that I will see you again, whoever may be watching, listening. And I will share with you, serve you, something else that is on my mind. Something else that I've come to realize. And I also do want to create some, constructed, planned out content as well. I'm really interested in music. Music has been such a wonderful part of my life. And I think that is another strength of mine. Being able to neutrally listen to music and feel the positive energy that comes out of that sound, that specific sound, whatever it may be, whatever genre of music it is. Because I like all music. Dancing, music. It's a lovely thing about being a human and living. So, just a couple things I wanted to share with you. All of that stuff is on my mind today. Kind of jumbled up, but I'm sure we'll go into each one of those into more depth in other videos. But I think this has been long enough for you to look at my face, listen to my voice. So, like I said, I hope everybody has a wonderful day, staying healthy. Remember to love others, lead today, and serve. Thank you, and goodbye.